Honorable moderator, Mr. Peter, my fellow panelists, distinguished audience, good afternoon. And first of all, I would like to, on behalf of Cisco, thank the organizers for giving us the stage to share with you that how Cisco is enabling the march towards the future classrooms. And I have seen other speakers present, and I would like to really acknowledge their presentations. And it is very clear that the role of technology is well understood, and it means that my task is simpler. I am not going to hammer that technology is the way to go, because what I want to communicate is technology is just an enabler. It is just one of the pillars. So what is more important is, and what Cisco has been doing for more than a decade, by working with the education community, whether it is the schools at the K-12 level or whether it is the institutes of higher learning and higher education across the globe, we have been fortunate enough to work with them closely and understand their pain points and challenges of how they are wanting to move towards a next generation learning environment. And we have been able to suggest in more cases what technology can do for achieving their business objectives. So clearly technology is important, but obviously we cannot lead with it. That is why we have a methodology of understanding the needs of the educationists and then basically proposing the solution. So I'm here in front of you for the next few minutes. I know there is a paucity of time, so I may skip through some of the slides, but still I would be able to communicate the message. So I am here to share the perspectives from the industry as we move towards the classrooms of the future. And as I said, it's a journey. It has not evolved overnight. It has been what everyone has been witnessing in the industry, and we are addressing that. So if you look at the three phases in education, clearly it has evolved from the ancient times when we used to have Nalanda and Taxila universities, or if you look at Merton College in Oxford, which can be debated to be one of the first colleges to be set up. So education has evolved and emerged from that phase where we had the teaching community, a pure research, and the community did not play a much bigger role, and also there was not so much of stress on the administration of the schools and colleges, and they used to play a slightly smaller role. And then with the advent of technology, so I would say that in the last 5 years, more changes have happened than they would have happened in the last 50 years. So that is why there is so much debate about how education is changing and how the classroom needs to evolve. So we all are witnessing that it is moving towards blended forms of teaching and learning, where it is not happening only within the campus, it is more online as well. And also it is tied to the demands of the industry, because we want to prepare the workforce so that they are more relevant once they come to work in various organizations. And also it is becoming lifelong. It is not that I move out of college, then my education comes to an end. It has to be lifelong. That is why these informal ways of teaching and learning using video and using internet and collaboration tools are more relevant than ever before. So the current phase of global transformation that we are all discussing over here is moving towards diverse excellence, and there are several factors which we will quickly go through, which are compelling all of us to think in this direction. So first of all, obviously we know how teaching and education has really evolved, and I would not like to spend too much time on this. I will move to my second phase where it is getting expanded. So earlier it was teaching only, now we are talking about learning as well. We are talking more and about the learner, because we know that we have to put learner, which is a student, at the center of everything. And there are careers which are new careers which are evolving, which are not traditional, but it is a demand of the industry. So you see teaching and learning which is evolving. You also see that there is a bigger role that societies are required to play in contributing as well as in enhancing the role of the educational institutes. So it is more of a dialogue which is happening between the society and the educational institutes, which is a distinct departure from ways it used to happen in the past. Also, what we see is there is a lot of research and innovation. So if you look at innovation and creativity is the biggest asset the industry leaders are looking for from the students who are coming out fresh out of schools and colleges. So how we can make innovation as a central pillar, as a core of our education that we deliver in the institutes is a key thing for us to understand. And as I mentioned, it is all about linking the research goals to what the industry demands. So it is more of a financial compulsion as well, which is leading to all these changes. The administration is playing a fundamental role over here because it is more of a brand as well. So they have to do a lot of activities which will promote their brand. They have to be conscious of including the ideas and the diverse nature of the students and the faculty which is getting imbibed. As well as it is all about building the new generation facilities. And I saw that it is an acknowledgement which has taken place that there is a need to move towards using technology and moving towards next generation of classrooms. So that is how we are overall expanding. So with the advent of technology, opening up of the internet, all these types of media, it is all leading to new ways of learning, as we all see, which is more connected, right? So it is all about the network which is being laid out across the globe, which has allowed all of us to come together. The world has become flat, it has become smaller. Students can collaborate with students across the globe. I can talk to some other faculty members who may be teaching in some other colleges. So these informal ways of teaching and learning are now able to play a more vital role today than they were able to do in the past. So what is it leading to? It is leading that we are moving from an education system to a learning society where there can be a learner sitting anywhere, anytime, and they still can continue the learning process even if they come out of the boundaries of their physical schools or colleges. So that is what it has all led us to. But today, if we look at what will it be 5 or 10 years down the line, we have to be cognizant of all the new pressures and challenges which are really driving. So this is from the perspective of the teachers, from the perspective of the learners, from the perspective of the administrators. So we have to keep into mind all these challenges which are evolving. Only then we have to propose a particular solution, because otherwise it may not serve any purpose. So a single solution may not fit for everyone. That is why I am reiterating the need that it is very important for us to be sensitive to understand that what is the what challenges are coming and what new pressures are driving, so that we can base our solution around that. So what you see is what is really redefining education is the 4 factors that we have to keep in mind. What impact is it having on the learning, on the innovation, on the society, and from the administration and development point of view. So it is the disruption which is taking place. For example, there are new consumption models which are coming into place, which are leading us, all of us, to work in this direction. And the final solution that we use in a learning environment has to pay attention to each of these things, whether it is innovation or creativity, and what role society can play, and what is it that the administration of a particular college or a university is looking to really achieve, so that we can move towards an entrepreneurial leadership ultimately, as well as giving back to the society. So I will not like to go into details of this. I will just come to the key message which I want to deliver. So ultimately we are moving towards a student-centric approach, and there is a fundamental shift in consumption model that is taking place. So you must have heard about something called as a cloud computing, which means that your business is of education and teaching, right? So why should you worry about technology? So that is where, in order to help these schools and universities focus on their core things, there is something called as the cloud computing which is emerging, which means that education as a service can be delivered. You need not invest high amount of dollars into buying those technology components. Rather, you can use it from the cloud, which means that it is existing somewhere, and with complete security and the ubiquitous network access which is available, you can use those services. So I think it has a lot of relevance from today's point of view, where we need to adopt these holistic models. And also there is a need to basically expand our campuses beyond a physical boundary, across a country and within a country and across various countries. There is a concept of a virtual classroom which is being adopted to a great extent, but again it's tip of the iceberg, and there are advances in technology where I can really simulate a face-to-face kind of a training or a coaching using technology, so that the experience is the same, right? So what we are saying is,
round up now.
yeah, sure. So what we are saying is we have created the network as a platform which we can now use to bring the students, the administration, the community, the society and the teachers all together, and using the technology which is emerging to deliver an experience of a future classroom. And if you see, we have been able to do a lot of work with several institutes which had their own different reasons of adopting these technologies, whether it is for accelerating new course offerings and programs, or whether it was for driving a green initiative. So we have the experience of working with best and the best of the education consumers, whether it is at school level or the university level, and the same level of expertise can be delivered over here. Last very important thing is, as I said, that it is very important for technology companies to be sensitive to what is required by the educationalists. So there is a 7-point framework which we recommend, ranging from understanding the vision and basically setting out a plan, adopting the plan, implementing the plan, and monitoring it. So that is how a single point solution will not work for everyone. So we, as a practice, work with the business, we work with the educationists to understand their requirements and really deliver the education classroom for the future. So that is what the approach I wanted to leave with, and we can take any questions. Thank you.